remember I told you, I just got through doing the sour cream pound cake and it was cooking. And then I stopped and I showed y'all how to make the perpetual vanilla flavoring. Well, here is that wonderful cake. You see? Sour cream pound cake. And this is for my mother's 90th birthday. She has no idea whatsoever. And I know y'all are seeing these ratty, torn pot holders, but that's just what I use. All right, when I take it out, so it stayed in there an hour and 15 minutes on 325. And so what I'm doing, it's, I greased it and I floured it and then put parchment paper. And we're fixing to do the icing, all right? And I'm letting it cool for about 10 minutes. But I always do this around the sides. And let it cool. And I'm going to put it right here. Let it cool. All right. It's going to cool in about 10 minutes. I'm going to take it and I'm going to dump it on this cake plate. Okay, isn't it pretty? Okay, so that's what I'm doing. But now, I'm going to show y'all how to do the old-timey caramel icing. All right, you can make caramel icing with, with just brown butter and then put confectioned sugar. But the really, really good one is this, and I call it the Divine Dixie Divas caramel icing. It is kick butt delicious. Okay, so I'm going to take a stick of butter, which is half a cup. This recipe is also in my cookbook. It's easy, y'all, simple. Remember what I told you to do to save these papers? And put them in these little baggies, lunch baggies, plastic baggies. Put them in the freezer and you'll have enough to grease casseroles, cookie sheets, anything like that. All right. Now, let me get my paper towel here. I find that these paper towels are better to use. These little brown ones. It's not as much money, so I get them. Now, I'm going to put in, I'm going to combine, now this is going to be a lot of icing. And it's probably going to be too much for that cake because I'm using the recipe, it's in my cookbook, for the icing for the 3-layer cake. But it's still going to have plenty, but I can still do other things with it. And I'll tell you what them other things are. I can make candy out of it, really, and put pecans. So there's so many things you can do. So in a heavy saucepan, which this is it, you combine the brown sugar, and it's about 4 cups, firmly packed, and this is pretty much that. Yeah, it's sweet. I can hear people now, oh gosh, that's sweet. Well, you know what? You only have one birthday. She only has one 90th birthday, okay? Then I'm going to go get a little bit of salt, just a little smidgen of salt over here. And a little pinch. That's about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Okay. All right, got the half cup of butter. And then my recipe calls for half and half. But y'all, half and half is very expensive. And I am somebody, my pockets, trying to keep my pockets in, right? I try to use what I have in the cupboard. I'm not going to run to the store, use half and half. Half and half is great. But what I use is canned milk. Canned milk in the South is evaporated milk. Don't go and get sweetened condensed milk, y'all. When I say canned milk, you get evaporated milk. So, and I'm going to just pour. It calls for 1 1/3 cups. This is about 12 fluid ounces. I'm not going to use quite 1 1/3. That's pretty much, we got it right. And I'm going to just kind of, just use the whole can would be fine because I've done it before. It's easy. All right, and you see it's already beginning to Get warm. You want to keep this stirred. And I'm going to take it off the eye for just a minute. You want to keep it stirred. You stir it until the mixture boils. And you need to keep your eye on it now. You don't just walk off and, answer the doorbell or something. And you cook it till it reaches a soft boil stage of 234 degrees. I've got my candy thermometer right here, but I'm going to show you both. I'm going to show you how to do the softball stage. To be quite honest, either one of them is great, but I do them, it's kind of like a test. I like to try, do them. Make sure I do them all the same. Now I want you to make sure you keep this stirred good. Yep. And just keep it, and it's going to reach a boil, and when it does, comes to a boil, and let's put it on, you put it on medium-high heat. And I'm gonna go cut, the stove is telling me that it's there you go, excuse me. The stove is telling me that it's time to dump the cake. And so I'm gonna dump the cake in just a second. All right, so that's going to take a little bit. All right, it's still hot, and I'm going to go ahead and dump this cake out while this is cooking. And this is on YouTube TV, so I hope to goodness that I have good luck. Boy, that would not be a pretty sight, would it, for it to go kaplunk. I would just about cry. I think it's going to be all right. I'm easy about that. Okay. Whew, it's still hot. You see, I'm keeping up with the stirring. Medium high. Now what you do is you keep it, like I said, you stir it with, and I use a wooden spoon. A wooden spoon is your key to making candy on the stove, icings and stuff. I don't know what it is about it, but you can beat it with a spoon instead of a mixer, and it gets done a whole lot better. Here we go, y'all. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Well, I heard it go kaplunk, so we'll see. It did fine. Yes, it did. It surely did. Yeah. Now it's still got, as you'll see, there's a little bit that kind of got on here. That's all right. We can work around that. That's not a biggie. Not at all. You see how pretty that is? Because we can certainly, and see it's, and I'm going to let it cool while I'm doing the cake, and then I'll flip it again on the cake plate. I'll tell you what's good to eat is that on that paper. Oh goodness, all that good creamy crust. But no, it's going to be just fine. Thank you, Lord. And it's real moist and tender. All right, here we go. All righty. Now, when this gets to boiling, you're going to boil it till it reaches 234 degrees, and then you take it off the stove and you cool it to lukewarm. Lukewarm is when you basically can put your hand and touch it. Now, you can't touch it, hardly now. Of course, it's been up, and burned, but you just touch it, and just barely. And that's how I do it. There may be a temperature and all that, but I don't use that. Y'all, I've been doing it for so long, just do it. So, that's what we're going to do. And what I'm going to do is I'll be back with you, because I'm going to wait until this boils and come right back, okay? Okay, y'all. This is time to roll. So you sit here and you boil this, all right? And when it starts to boil, I put the thermometer on here. This is an old thermometer, but buddy, it works. So what I'm gonna do, and it's just about ready. And I'm sorry, I licked my fingers like that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically, and I've taken a little cup of water, put ice in it, and so I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna just stir just a little bit, and it's right now 200 and about a little better than 25, so it's gonna get up to 234, but I always check it anyway. It's not quite ready because I put it in there, and won't be long. And that ice, and if you can make a ball, it won't be long, because you see I made a little tiny bit, and you make a ball and you can mash, but this is kind of really too, loose. So you have to just wait just a little bit longer, and it'll show soft ball on the thermometer that you get. There's different thermometers that you can get. Here's a big one by Wilton, but that's a really great one too. But y'all, I just use what I have. I just like to use this one. Sometimes you develop you might say, relationship with some of your best utensils, and that's exactly what I have with this one. All right. You can see, hold on a minute. See, the ice is in here, and it's going to be ready in just a minute. See, it didn't take long, because I was gone for what? Maybe not even quite 5 minutes. All right. Now, I put some in there, and I put a little bit of that icing in there, and if you gather it up and it turns into a ball, it's not quite, it needs just a little bit more, because see, I got a ball, but it's going to be just a tiny, in just a little bit. I'd say within 2 minutes, and it'll be ready. And the trick to that is the ice cold, because it says cold water test. And that's exactly, it's a softball stage, but you do it with cold water. Oh yeah, this is going to be done. And then, like I said, you take it and you let this cool until it's lukewarm, or where you can touch the bottom of that pan, and this is it. That's it. You see that? It's ready, y'all. Real ready. All right. So, guess what we're going to do next? We're going to take it off the stove, and we're going to pour some vanilla flavoring in it. About a teaspoon. Y'all, I use this stuff all the time. Yeah, a good tablespoon. And it's going to sit there, and it's going to do its thing. And if the icing gets a little, we're going to stir it. And that's why I was saying that to beat it with a wooden spoon, but you do not stir. You do not stir this. This is the number one thing while it's cooling. because you could get granules. And I remember my next door neighbor, we used to make fudge, and this is how to make these old-timey fudge recipes, and it's pretty much the same way. And we did it, and we stirred it, and we just couldn't wait till it got done. And we had sand. It tasted like sand. And I remember her brother used to make fun of us cooking anyway. And so he said, "But this tastes like sand." Well, it did. But this is not going to taste like sand because I am not stirring it until it's time to get it up. And again, see, it's still hot right now. And just let it cool, let it take some time, whatever. And as you begin to stir it with the spoon, the wooden spoon, it'll begin to lose its gloss. And if it's too thick, you just take a little bit of milk, of the canned milk, and you stir it in there. And it makes enough for a 3-layer cake, or a 13 by 9 by 2 cake, or this pound cake. You'll have more than enough for the pound cake. And who knows, I might get some pecans. And we'll just make pecan candy with what's left. How about that? Wouldn't that be good? Yep. Yeah, it would. So I'm going to go off again. And sorry to keep going on and off, but this is a little bit different. And I don't usually do that, but I don't usually have a mother that turns 90 either. And I'm going to surprise her. I'm going to send her the link. And she's going to be a little tickled. Or I'll get one of her friends to say, "Hey, Catherine," that's her name, "look, I want you to look at this." And she'll hear all the good things I had to say about her cake. So this is a special day for me, okay? I'll be back, all right? I'll be back in about probably 10 minutes. All right, see ya. Hey, y'all, I'm back. Well, I got the icing done. Remember we did a softball stage? And I told you, and it's perfect. Can you see that? Y'all, you can't get any better icing than this. You cannot. Now, so I'm going to ice the cake. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm just sick about it, but it's okay. People make messes. Well, my cake sunk in just a little bit, and I don't like that. I was going to whirl it around on this, but it's too high for me. I'm too short. But anyway, it sunk down just a little, but that's all right. It's going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start icing it. And there's going to be some left over. And I'm going to show you, this is you can use this recipe to make pecan pralines. And I use this at Christmas time to do that recipe. And this is going to be good. And there's so many times when you do have a boo-boo, when you make a cake, say if you tore a hole out of it or something, shoot, patch it up with icing. What do you think these bakeries do? Heck, they do it all the time. And you see how this is? It's doing just wonderful. I think what I'm going to do, I have another little spatula, if I can find it. Might not can find it. Oh yeah, it's a little short one. And I can maneuver that a whole lot better. Look at here, y'all. If y'all wasn't watching, I'd sit there and lick that whole thing. Oh my God. Because this is absolutely, this is my weakness, is this caramel icing. It's very easy. Again, like if it was a 3-layer cake, my mother, she would make these things. And I would go and I'd take a knife and I'd go like that. Oh, I know she could have just scanned me because sometimes she might have wanted to use it for church or take it to somebody for a gift. And of course, I was young and I just wanted it. You see how it's working? It was just perfect. Absolutely perfect. And nobody's going to know it's kind of dipping in the middle. Not really. Now, this is something I'm going to tell you. Say, for instance, you didn't have caramel. you didn't make the caramel icing or you didn't make the chocolate icing. You can make any icing, put on it. But say, for instance, you wanted to just have a good old, maybe lemon or some other kind like that, or just plain good old sour cream pound cake. And you wanted to keep it moist. You know what you can do? This is what my grandmama did. She just cut an apple in half and stuck it in there. And that's a tip, because, I'm going to give y'all tips because I've cooked all my life. My grandmama and my mama, and I'm going to tell you all these tips. But that's what she would do. And so it would be great. It's delicious. It has that good smell from an apple, and it's got that, it's just got that sweetness about it. You see how pretty this looks and good? And so you got all this good icing, and it's right here. It's just right here in the middle, which is good. When you cut it, it's just going to be eat up with this good icing. Oh my God, it looks so good. So I thought, I'm going to show y'all what little bit. Now this will probably be all we need to put on here. And the light is showing, because it's just perfect. It's not grainy. It worked out just perfect. You just have to work with it. Time it gets ready. Because see, it's already, as you can see, it'll soon be to where it's just glossy and shiny, and you don't need to. And let me tell you something. If you wanted to make a bunch of swirls, get you some hot water and just swirl it and stick your spatula in the hot water and work with it. That's all you have to do. Y'all, this looks good. Let me just kind of do some swirls around here. And then we're going to do. No, I was sitting there in between time. The phone was just ringing. Some of my clients were calling me, and I was telling about Mama's birthday. So she's going to get the link and surprise her. This will really surprise her. Like I said, she don't have any idea I do all this stuff. Now, what I'm going to do is this. Here's my wax paper, but I want y'all, and you see I have got all this, these pecans. If y'all ever want a supplier of pecans, where I'm from, Albany, Georgia, is the pecan capital of the world. Trust me, I have a supplier. I'm living here in Michigan, as I mentioned. I gotta do this. Can't help it. So, my cookbook, I had a book signing at the Grand Hotel in Mackinac Island, and they wanted to know if I had a supplier. I said, heck yeah, and I sent her a great order. So from Mackinac Island for the Grand Hotel. Okay, so if any of y'all know anybody that and you might want pecans, that you can get them whole or you can get them anyway. So there you go. This is my mama's cake, y'all. Too bad I don't have one of those 9-0 candles. So there you go, Miss Catherine Pierce. Present, future. Let's see, how is it? Is past, present, and future. That's it. There you go. It might not look the prettiest in the world, but I guarantee you it's the best. It is the best. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to cut a slice of it, and let you see it, how good it looks. And then we're going to show, then I'm going to show you how to make the, okay? Let me get you a plate. I'm into dishes, y'all, big time. Anybody knows me, they know. All right, here we go. Oh, my goodness. This is so fresh. And it's, oh, my goodness. It's all to pieces, just about. Look at here. Doesn't that look good? Yes, it does. I got to have one little taste. Oh, goodness me. That is a good cake. Very, very good cake. Okay, let me show you. Wow. Wow, wow. All right. I have got pecans right here. And I am going to throw these pecans in here. I've already chopped them up. And we're going to I'm going to dip them out and make the candy. Might as well. You don't want to waste this good stuff. You sure don't. Holy smoke. Okie dokie. Let me get a couple of spoons. And you don't have to grease it. Wax paper. Look here. I don't know if you can see. I'll move my book. Let me turn this around. No, I'll just bring it over there too. You can see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see or not. Let me bring it over here. Okie dokie. Here we go. Look at there. Doesn't that look good? No different. This is the same. This tastes just like pecan pralines because it's all homemade. And that's what this is. And if you ever look at the candy stores and find out how much pralines are, that recipe, you can make them for Christmas, for Valentine's. Look at here. For a fraction of the cost. A fraction. Y'all, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sorry I had to keep going back and forth, but this was a special day in my heart. And I want to thank you again. If you like me, please subscribe and thumbs up. And if you want my cookbook, there's information on how you can get it in my link. And this is Supper Time in the South cooking video. Thank you again. And Mama, I love you. And I'm going to send this to one of your friends and let them look at it and then send it to you. Okay? Bye. Y'all take care. Lord's willing, we'll see you back very soon. Bye now.